Jai Hind friends, warm welcome to our YouTube channel. In today's world, in digital world, in AI world, everyone is using internet banking, online banking, UPI. If you have to pay 10 rupees to a vendor, you have to ask, sir, where is your barcode? So you know very well from 1st January 2026, your calendar year 2026 is going to start. So in India, everyone having their saving bank account, not only one, but more than one for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bank account in government bank, public bank, private bank, small finance bank. But you need to check, you need to confirm there are many threshold limits in income tax, in GST, so that you will not cross that threshold limit, and in future you will not get any notice from GST or income tax department. So in today's video we are going to discuss in 2026 how you have to manage your saving bank account, you have how much transactions you have to do so that you will not get any notice from any department. So without further delay, let's jump into the video and let us know how to manage your saving bank account in 2026 so that you will not get any notice from income tax or GST department. So friends, transaction limit in saving bank account we are going to discuss so that you will not get any notice in 2026. The tax notice is also considered as income tax notice or GST notice. So what points we are going to discuss? How many bank account a person can keep in his or her name? How much cash deposit or cash withdrawal limit? Apart from cash, if you are doing online, UPI, NEFT, RTGS, is these limit included in the above cash limit or not? Maximum balance, how much amount can keep a person till when you can receive income tax notice? How you can save yourself by getting notice? Solutions and remedy we will also going to discuss. First of all, we need to discuss that income tax or GST department work as a financial year wise from 1st April 2025 to 31st March 2026. Your financial year will be 25-26 and assessment year will be 26-27, and from 1st January 2026 your calendar year has been started. So all the limit we are going to discuss, they need to check financial year wise, not the calendar year wise. First question of the video: how many bank account a person can open or keep in their name? There is no limit defined in income tax, in RBI, in GST, in FEMA, in RERA, in ED. So any number of bank account you can open. Suppose 12 government bank, 12 private bank, and 10 suppose payment banks and 1 post office. So you can open in each bank 35 bank account, but in every bank you should maintain minimum balance. You should be charged the SMS charges quarterly, ATM charges, cash handling charges, ledger folio charges, and many more in each of the account. So keep limited number of bank account for your own convenience. You can open 2 bank account, 1 for saving, 1 for investing, 1 for earning. 3 bank account can be open, 1 online, 1 offline. So it's totally up to you. There is no limit defined that you can open this number of bank account. Now main and important part of this video: cash deposit limit in a single transactions can be tracked by income tax department because you have given PAN number while doing these transactions. If you have not given your PAN number, then you must submitted your Aadhaar, and PAN is already linked to your Aadhaar. But in India there are 146 crore population and almost all are having at least one saving bank account. As I told you already, 2, 5, 10 bank account people are keeping. Some people keep more than one bank account: post office, government bank, private bank, payment bank. So it is not possible to keep all of them. Suppose you are depositing 1 lakh rupees, one person is depositing 2 lakh, third person is depositing 3 lakh rupees. So income tax department will not keep eyes on these small accounts. So they have decided a limit, a trigger limit. If you hit that trigger limit, then only the income tax department's role will come into the picture. So what is the limit? Per person. Per person means every person which have their PAN number. Suppose in your family there are 4 members: father, mother, husband, wife. So each and every person have their different limit because they have different PAN card. And per bank, suppose friends you are having your bank account in 4 banks. So all over the 4 banks are different for reporting purpose and per financial year, not the calendar year. Financial year, as we discussed, discussed already 25-26. If you did something in 24-25, that will be reported separately, and this all the transactions did in this financial year will be reported separately. If you cross the limit, then it become reportable transactions by bank to income tax department through SFT, statement of financial transactions. Till yet you will not receive any notice, just the banker will provide the information of these transactions to income tax department. So government had decided a limit to track the accounts in saving bank account if cash deposited is 10 lakh rupees or more, either in single or in entire year. Means if you have deposited 11 lakh rupees once, or if you have deposited 1 lakh rupees 11 times, so it will be the same rule in one bank account and all the product. Suppose in SBI bank you have saving account, loan account, salary account and KCC means Kisan Credit account. So your customer ID is only one. So all of the reports, all of the accounts will be considered a single account in a single bank. So single transactions you need to keep less than 2 lakh rupees, then it is a reportable transaction by bank to income tax department. Means the banker will give the information that this person has did these transaction with us. So friends, these cash deposit limit in a financial year, suppose from 1st April 2025 to 31st March 2026, if you cash deposit more than 10 lakh rupees in a particular bank, limit cross, banker will give information to income tax department, and single transaction should keep less than equal to 2 lakh rupees. Instead of saving bank account, if you are a businessman or using current account, then in current account cash deposit limit is 50 lakh rupees instead of 10 lakh rupees in a single or entire year, then it become reportable transaction by bank to income tax department. Now friends, vice versa, if you withdraw any cash from bank, so all rule are same for cash deposit or cash withdrawal. In saving bank account you should withdraw 10 lakh less than 10 lakh rupees, or in current account 50 lakh rupees. So either cash deposit or either cash withdrawal, if one of the transactions get triggered, then your information will give to income tax department. Now section 194N will also come into the picture. Friends, if you are having cash withdraw more than 20 lakh rupees in a one financial year in a one bank, and ITR of last 3 years has not been filed by yourself, then the amount accessing 20 lakh rupees TDS of 2% will get deducted. And apart from that, if you withdraw more than 1 crore rupees, then from 20 lakh to 1 crore your TDS will get deducted at the rate of 2%, and amount more than 1 crore rupees your TDS will get deducted at the rate 5%. So make sure while withdrawing the cash from the bank, if you have filed ITR of last 3 years, then your cash withdrawal TDS limit will get increased from 20 lakh to 1 crore rupees. Now main and important part, when and why you will get the notice. If you cross the limit of cash deposit or cash withdrawal, it does not mean that you will receive a notice. This limit is for reporting purpose. Now role of ITR, income tax return, will become important if you have filed your ITR and filed accordingly. Suppose you have deposited 12 lakh rupees in your saving bank account and you have filed ITR 4 in which you have already shown 20 lakh rupees sales. So it will consider that this 12 lakh rupees is your sale. So your sale, your services shown already as per cash, then you need not to worry. If you did the heavy cash transactions exceeding the threshold limit and proper ITR filed, transactions are getting justified. You have source of transactions with yourself, you have license, certificate, authority to do these transactions, then you will not get any problem from income tax department. If you have ITR filed but not filed accordingly, suppose you have deposited 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 30 lakh rupees cash and you are filing ITR 1 without business, so department can ask justification of cash deposited. If you failed to justify, then department can make heavy interest tax penalty and which can be up to 83-84%. So you should select correct ITR form. You should show exact ITR earn from these transactions so that you will not get any problem from in future. Friends, if ITR has not been filed and you will receive notice, friends, 101% you will get notice, because we are not threatening you, we are just letting you know the rule and regulation. You will get notice and they will ask why you have not filed your ITR and doing so much transactions. If you will provide the proofs, justification of cash, and you justify that I do not concealed any tax, this is my own amount, you need not to worry. Otherwise, undisclosed cash credit can be considered heavy interest tax penalty, which can be up to 83-84% of the cash deposited. Friend, here is a example of a notice received one of our client. You have not filed your income tax return for assessment year 2021 and your case has been flagged as per the risk management. Here information description: cash deposit in bank account. Friends, the person has deposited this much cash amount. So if you will deposit cash more than 10 lakh rupees, then your case will get selected. And here one more information: financial year, AIR or CIB, cash deposited 10 lakh rupees or more, deposit in cash aggregating 2 lakh rupees. So I have already discussed more than 10 lakh rupees in a financial year or more than 2 lakh rupees once. Cash deposit should be ignored or it should be deposited if you have proper justification proofs of the transactions. Now one more important question: does the online UPI, NEFT, RTGS, internet banking limit include in this 10 lakh rupees? So friends, I will let you know, as of now only cash transactions are reportable by the bank to income tax department. So if you are doing online NEFT, UTI, UPI, RTGS, net banking, not reportable by any of these to income tax department. But friends, if your case gets selected for notices, then all of your credit will be asked by the income tax department. Suppose you have deposited 11 lakh rupees cash and you have taken 90 lakh rupees as a UPI. So what will happen? Your case will get selected because you have deposited more than 10 lakh rupees. Then they will ask 1 crore 1 lakh rupees transactions. Suppose you have deposited 9 lakh rupees cash and 80 lakh rupees as a UPI. So the banker will not give this information to income tax department regarding the cash. So you will not receive any notice regarding the same. But again, I am saying today is digital world. Online and NEFT, UPI, RTGS is not a reportable, but PAN 2.0 you have heard already, and AIS, TIS and 26AS drastically form. On a single click, income tax department can ask any information from anyone. Suppose section 133 under section 6, any notice can be given to anyone and information can be asked that please give us the information about the same. Karnataka, Tamil Nadu GST department recently sent GST show cause notice to 13,000 small shopkeeper because they have taken credited more than 40 lakh rupees UPI in their account. So here is a type of notice which has been received. So here you will come to know that Tamil Nadu GST department, and where based on the report received from Roger Pay and Phone Pay. You know very well that they all are online payment transfer gateway. But surprisingly, you will not receive the notice from a particular year 21, 22, 22, 23, 23, 24. You are receiving a payment here in financial year 22, 23. More than 40 lakh rupees payment has been received in UPI, and this report has been received by GST department, and GST department has served a show cause notice that why GST number has not been taken by yourself. So friends, along with income tax limit we will going to discuss soon, you need to take care GST limit as well. In a single entire financial year, if you are selling something and your sale cross 40 lakh rupees, if you are providing service, then if it cross 20 lakh rupees, and if you are doing both sale and service, then limit is 20 lakh rupees, then your GST registration become mandatory. You must take GST registration, you must pay GST, and you must file GST returns on time. And how much cash transactions you can do in GST? If you have registered yourself in GST, you can take cash from a single person in a single day up to rupees 2 lakh rupees. But all cash taken you need to be show in your GST return, and you need to pay GST on that. Now maximum how much amount you can keep in your bank account in income tax, GST, RBI, RERA, ED, FEMA, there is no limit defined that how much cash or how much amount you can keep in your saving bank or current bank account. But balance should be justify your overall income. Suppose in the last financial year tax-free income was 12 lakh, and this year your tax-free income will be the 7 lakh and 12 lakh. So if you are having 19 lakh rupees in your account and you have filed your ITR properly, then there will be no problem. Every year saving can be done. Suppose from last 10 year you are saving 2 lakh rupees and you have not filed your ITR because ITR filing not mandatory, so you can show 20 lakh rupees in your bank account, 50 lakh, 1 crore, but justification should be given in each and every transactions. If you are filing ITR 3, then balance of your cash and bank balance should be reported in your balance sheet. If you are not, you are filing your ITR and you are having huge amount in your bank account, and if you have any justification, you have received any loan, gift or any other transactions, then still you need not to worry. In AIS annual information statement, closing balance is also reportable, but practically we have not seen any closing balance of any client as of now. So how much maximum balance you can keep in your bank account? As of now, no maximum limit defined by income tax department, by GST department. Just reportable transactions is cash, deposit or withdrawal more than 10 lakh rupees. But balance should be accounted. You should have genuine source and track that how much amount you have received from where. It can be your sale, service, gift, loan. Every year tax-free amount can be accumulated. Suppose 12 lakh rupees this year. So if after filing ITR, you can make this 12 lakh rupees on record. Apart from that, in financial year, if you do more than 10 lakh rupees FD, if you pay credit card bill more than 10 lakh rupees online, more than 1 lakh rupees in cash mode, if you have purchased any property more than 30 lakh or sell any property more than 30 lakh of registry amount and more than 50 lakh rupees, 1% TDS will be applicable. Share market transactions, if you do single rupees share market transactions, suppose if you have bought any share, so if you have any SIP mutual fund, it will get reflected online. Cryptocurrency or mutual fund, all the transactions will get reflected in AIS, TIS and Form 26AS. And income tax department and GST department will come later. First, banks actions are going on nowadays. Before income tax department, bank will ask and scrutinize all the transactions. Bank have power, they can hold or they can freeze your account. So always keep record of transactions, that from where money is coming and from where you have paying your amount. Now till when you can receive your notice? Friends, statement of financial transactions notice can come up to 3 years from the end of the assessment year, which can be 4 years after the end of financial year in which you did the transactions, plus 3 additional months if your transactions are up to 50 lakh rupees and you did the transaction in financial year 25-26. So 25-26 plus 4 years up to 31st March 2020-2030 and 3 more additional months. But currently in AIS, TIS and 26AS, all the transactions can be seen or shown. So department also giving you reminder, e-campaign message, please file your ITR. If you filed your ITR properly, then you will not receive any notice. Friends, if your transactions are more than 50 lakh rupees, then this 4-year limit will increase to 6 years. So financial year 25-26 notice can come up to 31st March 2032 or it can be on 30th June. But again, all the transactions after year ending, suppose your year ended 31st March 2026, in after April or May, you must check in June or July your Form 26AS, AIS and TIS. So if there are any transactions are showing, you should file your ITR accordingly. But nowadays income tax department are giving e-campaign message so that you can file your ITR in advance. Current financial year 25-26 up to 31st March 2026. Notice of financial year 21-22 can come under section 148 if your transactions are up to 50 lakh rupees, if your transactions are more than 50 lakh rupees. So your notice of financial year 19-20 can come up to 31st March 2026 or up to 30th of June 2026. So make sure that you have all the record of your transactions. Now ITR filing become more and more mandatory. ITR filing mandatory if you have deposited 50 lakh rupees or more in one or more saving bank account, 1 crore or more in more than one current bank account. So what is the ITR? ITR filing mandatory if your basic exemption limit, suppose you are getting any salary income, rental income, capital gain income, business income or other source income, 2,50,000 rupees in old tax regime, but in new tax regime 4 lakh rupees limit. So friends, if your income is more than 4 lakh rupees, you should file your ITR because ITR filing become mandatory. And taxes, you know very well, taxes need to pay on your income. Normal income taxable as per slab rate, special income taxable as per special rate, like crypto, gaming, lottery income 30% flat. In old tax regime, after deduction and exemptions, you need not to pay up to 5 lakh rupees, but ITR filing mandatory after 2,50,000 rupees. In new tax regime, no tax up to 12 lakh rupees, but ITR filing become after 4 lakh rupees income. So what is the solution? Friends, you should keep record of cash deposited and cash withdrawal, that where your cash has received and where you have used that cash. File ITR to justify transactions in every year. Avoid unnecessary cash transactions as well as online transactions. Use current account for businesses purpose. Don't use saving account for large amount of transactions. If you are doing any business transactions, then you must have the certificate license to do these transactions. After year end, you must check your AIS, TIS and Form 26A, file proper ITR. You must have a personal CA so that you can get discussed before doing any huge transactions. If it is not the case, you can call, message or WhatsApp us anytime. You should check income tax portal regularly. You should timely reply if you have received any notice. You should keep update email ID and mobile number on income tax portal so that you will get any information timely. Friends, if you find this video helpful, please hit the like button. If you have not subscribed us, please subscribe us, because in future you will get income tax, GST, personal finance video. Please share this video with all the people who have their bank account in their saving bank, current bank, and they are doing unnecessary transactions. If you have any doubt, query, question, feel free to ask in comment box. Thank you so much for watching this video. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.